everybody, it's Wednesday, it's WIP Wednesday. So every week we get together and we have a look at all of the great bits and bobs of hobby that you fine folk have been working on. So if you are working on a project you want to share with us because you've just started hobbying, you've just mastered hobbying, you've just found something amazing, or you just want to share what you're working on to kind of get yourself motivated, then drop us an email at theboneheadpodcast@gmail.com. Put WIP Wednesday in the title so that I can look it up and put it on the show. Anyway, we've got some good stuff for you this week, so we are going to delve straight in. Okay, this one is from Miguel, and it's actually from November. I missed it the last time round when we got a bit jam-packed. Hey Ben, love the channel. I've been working on my Punga Underworld team. I added some Snotlings from the Snotling team. I'm really happy with the OSL with brush. I don't have an airbrush yet, and they're trying to mimic the colours from the Bengals and the Oregon Beavers. I'm leaving the Apothecary and the 6 rats for the end, and I still have some details to do on the goblins and trolls. Hope you like it. Cheers. Okay, cool. So I love a good Underworld team. So this is the Punga Underworld team. And I'm guessing this is something you've 3D printed yourself. Anyway, what we can see here is we can see some of this OSL, this object source lighting that Miguel's managed to do. What that is that's about picking an item, picking a light source, and then kind of having that effect on the model. And we can see that it's all over the place with these glowing mushrooms, which is a really cool thing. And that's the great thing about Skaven teams, about Underworld teams, is they're kind of tied into the warp stone, to the oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. Is it just Warpstone? Yeah, it's Warpstone and Weirdstone in more time, wasn't it? Anyway, this weird glowing stuff, because it causes their mutations. Which, oh, it's a Warpstone troll. Yeah, it's just Warpstone. That's fine. Weirdstone is what it is also called. Anyway, very, very, very cool, Miguel. I'm glad we finally got to look at it. I do love this troll. There's an alternative model as well. There's an alternative with this troll with an empty hand. So if you're running an orc team that doesn't have a goblin, if you're running trolls in a snotling team, you don't have to have the goblin, although the goblin with the goggles is pretty cool. And I love the paint scheme, absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry we missed this the first time round, but excellent job there. Love a good Underworld team. Next up we got David Marsden. Hey Ben, been a little while as I've been maxed out with work and a squig project elsewhere. Nice. Here are 3 ogres from the Trashy Tourists ogre team, just 3 left to go. Bad sunburns all around, and also 1 homebrewed acorn model made from a few bits of scrap. Okay, cool. So the sunburn, that's excellent. So we've got some great skin work, some great basing work. This is clearly like about the tourists. You've got the beach towel there, which I think is excellent. You've got the nap, the handkerchief headpiece, which I think is brilliant. But that sunburn is absolutely brilliant. You can see the outline of the vest as well. Maybe the vest is in his hand. It's excellent execution. I really love it. I do love a good team with a good theme. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. You've got the netted vest. That is extra points for that commitment. And the buried Noblar too. Very cool. Are you going to have a team display piece? Oh, here we go. So this is the... Where's the acorn from then? Is that the one from the Halfling team? That's amazing. That is amazing. So you've got the Forge World Ogre. The Forge World Ogre expansion pack, and converted it with that's just absolutely brilliant. I really love that, David. That is absolutely great. And looks like the acorn was with the head from the Halfling team. Very, very, very cool. Acorn's excellent. We actually saw a few acorns at Beachhead at the weekend, which was very, very, very cool. Now, talking of Beachhead, this team came, I think, in the top 5 actually. This was the one and only Slan team of the entire weekend by the one and only Orkster. Hey Ben, had an awesome time at Beachhead, especially on Saturday with my recently finished Slam team, the Leaping Lakers. So if you are new to Blood Bowl or just actually invested in Blood Bowl, there is a Slan team, the rules of which are available on the NAF website. Now, all of it is kind of unofficial, but Slan were based on space frogs that were kicking around in Warhammer in the 1st and 2nd edition, and therefore were in the 1st and 2nd edition of Blood Bowl. There's some artwork, some great 2nd edition artwork of Slan dudes, frog dudes flying around. It's an awesome team to play. And Orkster absolutely smashed it out of the park with this team. You can see went all the trouble of making these custom bases out of resin with pond bits. And the really cool thing that I absolutely love about this is that we've got to see this team develop on WIP Wednesday. And there's so many projects kicking around now that you guys have finished or that you're working on that we've seen brew up. We've seen kind of start to finish. And this team was absolutely brilliant. Orkster, superb job. It was great to see you, great to see this team, and I mean, it was great to see Slan in action. Come on, Games Workshop, let's have a proper Slan team. Let's have them back. Okay, so also Orkster. Right, let's zoom out to get the text in the page. From here, I've decided to crack out the Grebo Vicious Wildfire team. So that was the kind of orc team that they had. Looking at all the models, nearly 60, I realised there's enough there to create players for either orc, black orc, or goblin teams. I've decided on blue armour and white shorts to replicate Cardiff City or Chelsea football strip, and going with the team name of the Cardiff City Crunchers. Nice. I then decided I didn't want to stick green. I didn't want to stick to green for the skin tone, so I decided to try colouring the skin according to their positions. Blue-green for the troll, green black orc, big uns, red blitzers, purple throwers, yellow goblins, and grey linemen. So first of all, we've got the troll with the blue skin tone, and I really like this troll model. It's not, I think, available at the moment. I think Grebo wiped out their stuff where they're replacing it all with Greeblood. But this troll is for my collection at some point. Okay, here we go. We're starting to see the skin tones here. So green is for the black orcs / big un blockers. Then you've got red for the blitzers. And this is where every week I have a little bit of a diatribe about different skin colours on orcs. It works. Whether it's blue, red, flesh tones, you know, dark flesh tones. It's so good to see different skin tones. And I mean, red orcs, you may think, well, that's outrageous, but I mean, Uruk-hai kind of broke the mold with that, and we've seen so many teams on this show now with like blue-skinned orcs, red-skinned orcs, brown-skinned orcs, and it's awesome. I think it's really representative of, you know, just the fact that people, monsters, everything can be whatever colour, especially in a fantasy football game, so really love it. See, purple is an excellent skin tone too. I do love these models. The Grebo have done a great job. Yellow is a brilliant skin tone. That works really, really well for the players and gets up that fantasy thing. And grey for the black for the line orcs is gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to see how grey pans out. And here we go. We've got some of the armor and the color scheme. Okay, you know what? That works really well. Now the Grebo stuff, they've gone with this kind of MMO World of Warcraft vibe with the dwarves, with the orcs. Not so much with the Chaos Dwarves, but it really comes across. You've got like the chin beards and everything, and it works brilliantly. This team is going to look really cool, Orkster. I'm assuming if you've got a tournament coming up next week, it's not what you're going to be running. But I'm looking forward to seeing this team progress. Next up, we've got Kiwi. Hey Ben, seeing Brute Fun's amazing creations on Reddit and your show inspired me to give it a go myself. So now I plan to do a Bretonian reskin of the Nobility team. Can't have Blood Bowl without some silly bucket helmets. Still a long way to go, but I'm having so much fun. Keep up the awesome work and roll some pals. Cheers, Kiwi. Hey, big game against Ian this week for the Bonehead Championship final, and I am hopefully going to be rolling some pals. See if we can take this Wood Elf team to victory. Spoiler alert, but by now you probably watched the match preview. All right, this is wicked. So we saw Brute Fun basically just start sculpting because he couldn't get hold of what he wanted. And now we're seeing Sven do exactly the same thing here. And I've got to say, a really superb job. I mean, great work on all the sculpting. I'm really impressed with the chainmail. I mean, this is excellent. I do like the hat. I like the excellent piece of detail with the ball instead. There's not like a bull head or a dragon or something, but the fact you've got the ball on top there is excellent. Beautiful fleur-de-lis. Great work on the chainmail. I am very much looking forward to seeing how that team turns out, because that is very cool. That's what, 2-3 shows in a row now we've seen someone say, hey, I'm doing some sculpting, please just, you know, it's just so good. Next up we've got Karsten. Hey, it's Werfelsturm. Werfelsturm, how you doing? Here again. After my Black Orcs last week and before the next project of my Chaos Chosen team, I wanted to do something little, so I present to you my reroll markers. 8 of them painted in the colour scheme of my soon-to-be goblins, and 8 for possible extra team training inducements. Do I need all 16? No. But I love whole complete sets of things. Bloodweiser kegs, different wizards, one after another. I will get them a model. 0 to 16 linemen, you bet. I've got 16 of those guys. Although the problem is you need 3 human teams from Games Workshop. Sadly, the human team looks awesome from Games Workshop. But first, I've got 16 beastmen in front of me. Greetings and keep up the work. Okay, cool. Reroll tokens are one of the most customizable things in Blood Bowl. Now, having stuff that's set to your team, having 1 token per reroll is actually a really good way of doing it. I will tend to use 1 and slide it down the tracker, or 2 if I've got the leader reroll as well. But having complete sets of things is excellent because you've got a really good way of defining it. And I like the way you've numbered them 1 through 6 and then the other 2 pitched on the edges. Really good way of doing it. Worthlesturm, always good. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, next up we've got Keith. Hey Ben, thanks for your kind words about my painting last time I emailed in. I finally fully finished my Iron Brute Black Orc team. So I have included pictures of the finished Varag and Troll. It's taken me a while to pick a colour scheme for the Imperial Nobility, but I do now have Griff and the Ogre underway with a scheme I'm happy with. I've also been painting up some Warp miniatures models as I love how full of character they are. The Halfling coach has got to be one of my favourite models. I really want to pick up their Lizardman team, but I'm telling myself I have to finish the teams first. Thanks for all the great Blood Bowl content. Your videos are 100% the reason my Amazons are sitting 4-0 at the top of the table. Nice, good work. Very nice. Blooming Amazons, overpowered. Honestly, Games Workshop definitely going to nerf them. I love throwing shade at Amazons. They are a tough team to beat. Anyway. This is wicked. Absolutely brilliant troll. Flesh tone's great. The blending's great. The number panel is really good. It looks really authentic. Some excellent work on the armor as well. Nice pop in blue, actually. Really good work. It's a great troll model. Very vibrant colors. Looking really good. Varag, look at that. You know, blue and orange is a really solid combo. And I like the work you've done to make sure that it really, really pops. Excellent little bits of edge highlighting on the blue armor. Okay, so looks like taking me a while to pick a color scheme for the Imperial Nobility. Now I've got Griff and the Ogre underway. So a dark green with that kind of burgundy. You know, blue and orange, great combination. I actually think that red and green is an underrated combo as well. Works really well, especially when you're throwing in all this gold to kind of break it up. Yeah, really like it. Really like it. And the ability team is actually really lovely to paint. And so are these. Great work on all the full details. Nice. As a beautiful little ad there. You've got the hot dog sailor. You've got the musician bard. So good. Thank you very much, Keith. That's looking really cool. Next up, I think we have got... Nope, that's not the right bit. We got Griff. Hey Ben, so I hope you're all well. I'm ever so slowly clawing my way out of my mountain of grey shame. Here's my Grebo vampires, including an undercoated only Wilhelm. The graveyard beasts are from Sean at Jester Prince on Etsy. He's a great guy. I've decided themed bases are the way to go now. I'm 80% done with my friend's Grebo Demons of Khorne. He doesn't know I'm giving him a bonus 5 Pit Fighter Mutants. The Skull and Bones bases are from Toad King's Castings. These are more realistic than Games Workshop Box of Skulls because it have collarbones, shoulder bones, yeah, instead of just skulls. Yeah, that's very strange how they do that. Can you give a shout out to In League with Satan, a heavy metal themed league my friends and I run? We're in season 4 at the moment on Blood Bowl 2. My Skaven team is doing horribly. No, thanks for all the awesome stuff you guys do for the Blood Bowl community, Griff. Thank you very much, Griff. Thank you for sharing. Cool. Blood Bowl 2 stuff. Always happy to show off. Let's have a look at the... Ooh, I like this. Really like that. That red mixed with the dark metallic is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for like that not necessarily monochrome, but when you want a color like this to pop, looks really cool. And look at the finish. That red is gorgeous. This guy with the blue as well works really well. That Pit Lord in the background, what a model. I think Bloodtide's got this team. And it is great. And actually that skull mix is superb. So Skull and Bones bases are from Toad King's Castings. These are more realistic than Games Workshop Box of Skulls. Yep, so Toad King's Castings, if you are after a bunch of great skulls, like the little work you've done there on the face of these guys with the little runes and things. That's a very cool team. Really should be very happy with that. Beautiful, terrifying red. Yeah, absolutely love that. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing, David. That is very cool. This is creepy as heck as well, which I really love. And that's what Blood Bowl's about. Taking everything you can get and putting it on the pitch. And this is creepy too. Right, what are we looking at now? Oh, I love this. This is great fun. Okay, this is Big Nerd 78. Hey Ben, I've been playing Blood Bowl on and off for 20 plus years and I never got into painting until COVID. Ever since I've binge watched and practiced techniques for painting and playing Blood Bowl. That includes your podcast and WIP Wednesdays. It's by far the best podcast resource for all things Blood Bowl. Thanks dude, awesome. Anyway, attached is my Nurgle team, the Pus Drinkers. I wanted to try OSL effects for the first time and using a glowing Nurgle base as the light source. Okay, we're going to get to this. I think every episode has a theme. It's like dags or different coloured skin tones. Today is definitely sponsored by OSL. Okay, in local league, they have picked up the pace, winning the last 3 games. Their record 3 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws. Only 3 touchdowns scored against and 20 casualties. I love playing with a fully painted team on the pitch and never knew what I was missing. Okay, we can see here the great OSL. I mean, this is a gribbly model. That's got to be like one of the grossest Beasts of Nurgle I've seen. Am I looking for Beasts of Nurgle for my life team for college? Ooh, I think I've got 1 Beast of Nurgle on my roster for the life. So be really nice to see some suggestions. But this is excellent. The mouths, the gribbliness. It's kind of got an Aliens vibe at the bottom, as in the movies. Ooh, yeah, okay, this is excellent. Okay, couple of things I really love here. Skin tone, horrible, putrid, Nurgly. We have some great Nurgle stuff on here, and this rate's right up there. I love the OSL on the bases. Very creative. You pulled it off really, really, really well. And I really love this colour scheme to go with it. So you've got like a supernatural OSL mixed with a very organic pallid flesh tone, and then you've gone with a very like together paint scheme with the shoulder pads. That is clearly their armor. Now I have this terrible thing of painting my models, whether it's their flesh, their just all kind of one palette, and it all kind of blends into one green and brown sludge mess. This armor is clearly separate to the flesh tone, and the flesh tones are clearly separate to the OSL. Very nicely done. Really like it. That black with red is really nice too. That's going on my list of color schemes I need to pull off. Oh yeah, look at that. That is superb. Excellent. That color scheme's great. The pop from the OSL is great. Really good. Really like this. Yeah. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, computer. You can do it here. Anyway, Big Nerd. Looking really, really great. Thank you very much for sharing. Not sure why those last 2 pictures didn't come up, but hey, never mind. The team looked brilliant. Next up, we've got a couple of bits here from Aaron. Hey, just finished working on my halflings and vampires, so I thought I'd take your advice and do some marveling to change the pace. Cheers. Okay, cool. I love these Marvel models. I probably don't have space in my gaming repertoire to get involved, but I mean, it's really good to change up the pace and try painting something different every now and again. I mean, I've been enjoying printing the 8mm heresy stuff, so that's kind of what I mean. But this is really cool. I mean, lovely job. I mean, Rogers, excellent. I don't know if the Avengers symbol on his shoulder is hard cast or whether you've done that, but it looks really, really cool. I love being nosy in the background. What's this little dude? Interesting. Anyway, looking really cool. Thank you very much for sharing. I love seeing all kinds of hobby goodness on the show. So Aaron, thank you very much. Next up, we've got Tim. Good early hours of the morning, Ben and fellow boneheads. This was sent at 1:45 in the morning. Attached are a few of my recently finished Black Orcs. I fell into Blood Bowl by playing Blood Bowl 2 for a couple of years. Eventually, I figured I'd give the tabletop version a go last month. I have not regretted it one bit. I now have 2 teams, Necromantic Horrors and some recently acquired Black Orcs. I've never painted any models before, but here are a few pictures of my Black Orc team. Still have to put together and paint my Troll and Varag, but I'll get to that soon. I've also included a few pictures of my Necromantic team. Hope you like them. Cheers for doing everything you do. The podcast gets me through long, painful nights at work. Honestly, that is what we are here for. We are here to lessen the doldrum of every day. Right, love this stuff. First team, looks brilliant. Great skin tones. I love the clash of the green against the kind of browny bronze armor. works really, really well. And looks like you've got a little bit of a stripe of colour, that little bit of white there on the straps of the Black Orcs, of the horns. It just breaks it up. Use of tufts on base is excellent. I mean, this is great. This is a solid team. Tabletop is very different from Blood Bowl 2. Yeah, love the team, love the group shot, love the fact you put a little bit of extra colour in there with the bug, with the hat. It does just break it up a bit. I think we've got blue trousers on the guys as well. Yeah, really cool. Tabletop, very different to Blood Bowl 2. It is so much more of an immersive, shared, painful experience with your opponent. It's just, there's nothing like it. There is just nothing like it. So welcome to the most dangerous part of the hobby. Oh, cool. Necro team's coming along really nicely. Great skin tones. That pallid green is perfect for the zombie effect. More of those tufts on the base. Silver purple, great combination. Love that you used a slightly different colour there for the hat on the scarecrow. Breaks it up a bit. Yeah, gone with the pumpkin face. Really, really cool. Thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we've got Stefan P. Hey, Ben and Ben. Hope you're all having a good week. Here is a little progress update on my Lizardman team. I gave them a 3D printed swamp base. Nice, from Titanforge. Okay, that's cool. Titanforge do a lot of good stuff. And now I'm going through the details, but getting somewhere. The scales have some different colours because I checked out some lizard pictures and saw these patterns to scare off potential threats. I thought it would be a cool idea. The trainer is from TT Combat Rumble Slam. We see a lot of Rumble Slam on and off the channel, which is really cool. Still a lot of details to go, especially for the skinks, but it's still fun thanks to Brute Fun's cool models. After your podcast, I had to buy that Minotaur as well, with the together with the Fanath Minotaur. I now have a regular and a star player, but that'll take months before I can start these. Well, anyway, have great fun with Dungeon Bowl. That reminds me, mimics. I have some monster treasure chests, which makes the game way more fun. Roll a dice when opening the treasure chest. 1 to 2 is a mimic, 3 to 4 is a bomb, 5 to 6 is the ball. Minimum 2 balls in a game. I like this. Mimics have strength 4, each does a blitz each round, movement 2, armor 10, changes a lot of the game, and was a lot of fun. You are great, thanks for all. Greetings from Hong Kong, Stefan P. Okay, so mimics are something that we are working on as well, because we're going to be including them in the channel, in our Dungeon Bowl series. In one of the rounds, we are going to have mimics. So if treasure chest, instead of blowing up, turns into a mimic who is going to move around using the ball and chain thing. So that's kind of it. But yeah, mimics are such a classic element of dungeons that it just makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've got some excellent lizards here. I think these are the Brute Fun ones. The Titanforge bases look great. Excellent work mixing up the paint schemes with the scales. It does just break it up and adds that organic effect. Purple gold color scheme works really, really well. But the Croxagore is just a beautiful model. I mean, you've done a great job there. I love the eyebrow effects. I love the highlights you've got on the armor panels. It looks brilliant. And the chameleon skink with the hat. I have not seen this. So this is what? Is this a coach? That's really cool. I like that. And we've got some more bits and bobs. Man, that Crocs is just an absolute beast. I've printed one off, but I haven't built it yet because I need to do the time lapse. Anyway, team looks really, really cool, Stefan. Thank you very much for sharing. I'll tell you what, the skinks for this team are phenomenal. The standard Blood Bowl skinks are really, really good, but the Brute Fun ones, they're just better. So if you're looking for a skink team, the Brute Fun team is definitely the way to do it. And with all those Croxagores, a skink team has to be done. How can you fudge it in? 2 trolls on a goblin team's not enough. Strength 1, no. The skink team with Croxagores from Fumble needs to be in standard Blood Bowl. I mean, we need the squig team, then we need the skink team. Croxagores and skinks all the way. Love it. Love the team. Love the coach model. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Okie dokie, next up we got Martin. Hey Ben, Martin here from Malmo in Sweden. I've been following your channel for a while now, but I've never pitched in any hobby stuff for WIP Wednesday until now. Really enjoying your content, learned a lot about Blood Bowl. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Me and my friends play a lot of board games and card games like the old Blood Bowl Team Manager, and recently started playing the 2020 edition. I never got a chance to play Blood Bowl Team Manager. It's definitely on the list. Because it just looks like a lot of fun. Anyway, I thought I'd share my 2 teams I'm working on now. Halflings with a wizard and goblins. Nice. halfling with a wizard, and goblins. I tried your tip with brown primer and it worked out great. Yes. I include pictures of my custom ball tokens as well. Cheers, Martin. Martin, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, brown primer, definitely the way to go. Right, team looks great. Oh, I don't have my Packers mug. Every week we see yellow and green because it is the best combination of the best thing. I love the wizard. Great job with the trees, differentiating them is kind of hard for these models, but actually they look very different. The colour scheme on the goods is brilliant, some nice highlighting there, but excellent wizard. I like your style. If you're running halflings with a wizard, you've got me fully back in there. Oh, and this is the goblin team. That is the Grebo Bomber. I'm not familiar with the troll, but I'm assuming it's Grebo as well. Classic Games Workshop troll there. Nice blue tone on the troll. Works really, really well. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Loving to see that. And you've got a couple of other bits and bobs in here as well, which is wicked. So here we go. Brown primer is, honestly, absolute hack. It's an absolute hobby hack. It will save you so much time. You like the skin tone. And yeah, the brown just blends it all in. Saves you a lot of time. But we've got some great stuff here. Okay, love the highlighting on the elf there. Excellent ball token. That's a clever way of doing it. Love the human. The white stripe really breaks it up. The way you've got it down there as well. And you've got the little knee pad being a different colour. Creates a pop of colour. That looks really, really good. Yeah, really good. Thank you very much for sharing. That is really cool. Okie dokie, we've got Gavin next. Hey Ben, my latest star player is a redneck. And that is it. That is all that needs to be said. Look at this. This is excellent. This is really something special. Chainsaw, massive fan. So this is Max Spleen Ripper, the new Forge World model. And what's to say? Clearly, I mean, Gavin is a Necromunda player. This is too industrial for Gavin not to be a Necromunda player. But the pop here is excellent. The stars hand drawn, really well done. Model is looking as outrageous as Max Spleen Ripper should be. Oh, we've got some progress here from Christian. Hey Ben, I finished sculpting my flesh golem. It took me 30 hours of sculpting over 2.5 weeks. This is the most intensive hobbying I have ever done, and for once I didn't lose motivation at some point during the project. I think it's fair to say that I've learned a lot doing this. However, I'm not sure if I'd recommend this as a cost-effective way to combat Games Workshop price increases. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to watching the most recent podcast once I have a calm moment for it. Cheers, Christian. Okay, so we've seen Christian go on his sculpting journey. I've got to say, like, it's beautifully done. I love the design work. Okay, the shoulder pads look exactly like the stuff from the Undead team, which is superb, and the work you've done on the chest is brilliant. I mean, this guy is toned as well, which is a bit terrifying. Superb done, beautifully executed, a lot of work, a lot of time. Ooh, a lot of time. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I love this one. Next up, we've got Adam. Hey Ben, it was nice to meet you briefly at Beachhead 2022. I'm the guy who shouted, "Hello, podcast man," at you in the street. Which was an awesome moment. I remember you, Adam. Sorry that was a bit rude. Not at all. I shared my Sky Blue Orc team with you last summer and entered them into the Fantasy Squad painting competition, but was well beaten by an awesome Squig diorama. I did also enter the Sci-Fi Vehicles Creatures category with my Mortarion and was very pleased to win it. Here's a couple of photos of the finished mini. I hope the tournament was a great success. I might enter to play next year once I've got a few more games under my belt. Cheers, Adam. Adam, I shall refer to you as the painting man. I think is only fair. Look at the details here of this Mortarion model. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. All the edge highlighting there is awesome. Mortarion is a beast. Here is Adam's trophy, and here is the model itself. We've seen a couple of Mortarions done on here really nicely, and this is definitely up there with it. Look at all the detail on the butterfly wings and just all that highlighting. I mean, I think you guys will probably agree this is next level. Really crisp, really clear, really filthy because it's Mortarion. That's a beautiful model. Beautifully done, Adam. very, very, very nice. Next up, we've got Stefan. Hey, Ben. Meanwhile, you also have some followers in Germany. So sorry for my poor English. Thank you for the good content, especially the WIP Wednesday is great. Every time I see an episode, I get new ideas, and the new print to pitch format gives me even more awesome ideas. Yeah, it's great fun. Thank you. In the last 2 years, I came back to the painting hobby. More because of my eldest son, 5, less because of the pandemic. Since my son loves dinosaurs, my pile of shame/opportunity mainly contains lizardmen. And I have to admit, I also like them. But since I don't have time to paint a whole AOS army, because I've got 2 toddlers, it's a massive undertaking as well. Age of Sigmar is not a small game. And liked Blood Bowl 2 on the Xbox, I started painting a Lizardman team. Beautiful. Nicely done. I can also recommend Warcry if you want small model count stuff. Anyway, I wanted to make them look like they were on a training ground in a swamp because everyone shows them on the pitch. And since it's work in progress, some of the models are still not quite finished. For example, the Slan coach. Ooh, we got a Slan coach. That's cool. The Slan coach. I think every team needs a mini symbolizing you as the coach. Yeah, I love that. And the 2-star players are aka the Mighty Zorg / Carla von Kill and Anki Panky, the rainbow coloured one, are not fully finished yet. I will also use spare chameleons to make Drool and Dribble because I think they're 2 sneaky kits, but haven't started them yet. And since it's sometimes hard to see which is the front of the mini, I want to indicate by using Lizardman shields on the base. Yeah, I like that. Behind every shield is a magnet. Also, the ball has a magnet in it as well, which means I can easily indicate the ball carrier. Hope you like them, and if you don't mind, I've still got some Snotlings, Dwarves, Humans on my pile, which I will share in some future emails. Keep up the good work, best wishes, and again, sorry for the bad English. Not at all, Stefan. Beautifully done. Looking really cool. So we've got Anki Panky. This on the left, full on metallic. I really like it. Really cool effect. Magnetizing the shields on the front of the base is a great way to do it too. Absolutely brilliant. Some wonderful use of color in there. That's very, very bright. Very, very nice. I'm very much enjoying the big work there. And it's always great to see magnets in use. Very, very cool. Thank you ever so much for sharing. Okay, we've got Skaven. I'm happy. It's Gareth. Hey Ben, there's absolutely no wargaming community where I live beyond a handful of people who say stuff like, I remember those I collected, insert Space Marine chapter name, when I was a kid. For years, I was happy occasionally painting character models to display in my front room, but then I discovered your channel the other day, and after watching a few videos, I realized just how much I missed playing Blood Bowl, something I've not done in over 20 years. So I picked up an Underworld team and painted the thrower this weekend. We'll be ordering second season come payday and hoping my children can be convinced to give it a try. If not, I can always paint team star players and live vicariously through your matches on the show. Cheers, Gareth. Right, Gareth, love it. Play 7s. Just if you get 2020 or if you've got another team, just make a little 7s pitch. 7s is the best way to teach people. It's a much faster variant. We've got tons of content on 7s. It's the old edition, but it's basically the same thing. I mean, I love the team. Nice work on the pitch. Great work on the field as well. And the little red pop of eye is beautiful. But no, go for 7s if you can, because it is definitely the best way to teach. Ooh, I'm getting messages from Tiff. Dinner's nearly ready. Bless her heart. Oh, we got some Warcry. Oh, I love Warcry. We got Casey. Hey Ben, back at it again with the new Warcry tome, allowing the Underworlds themes, which is a big deal. Thought it's a great time to add some reinforcements to my Shadow Stalkers. It's also a great time for someone to jump into the game. Hint, hint. I'm there. Hopefully they go a little bit faster than the Knight. Happy hobbying, Casey. Do we say? I don't know why I don't say happy hobbying more often. Anyway, this is the Daughters of Cain warband for Underworlds that is now usable in Warcry after the most recent Warcry Death Zone. Is probably the best way to do it. Lovely models. I've got these kicking around somewhere because they are great to build, great fun to paint. Casey, I very much look forward to seeing what you do with these guys. And the last one for today is from Rob. Hey Ben, hoping you've not been too badly battered down there with Storm Dudley, Eunice, and currently Franklin, and then who knows what other storms coming in on a near daily basis. Had some power cuts while we were recording the podcast. That was aggravating. Otherwise it's been fine, which is excellent. Thank you. Here we go. I would be showing off some WIP of a couple of Pokemon this time around, but I lost all my keys the other week and currently can't get into my flat's letterbox until I can get a new lock for it. Happy days. That is brutal. So I've been busy finishing up another commission work for a fellow blocker down my local league, the Grebo Games Bretonian team. I managed to stick to my recent and apparently ongoing challenge from my Monty Python team to paint non-metallic metal. Although I have utilised a wash on these models to help me, along with another face I'm very proud of. They're great sculpted paint, and even though as a kid I hated painting metal minis, I now feel they are so much more enjoyable to paint at times than digitally sculpted miniatures. I feel it's the handcrafted nature and not being overly cluttered with tiny details, but allowing the character to come through with elements containing cohesive parts. Looking forward to seeing how the Bretonian team is received by my friend, and hopefully getting the Pokemon minis done this week via parents. But I've just purchased some Doctor Who minis for a project that has been on my mind for a good number of years now as well. Too many ideas, projects and minis, and not enough hours in the day as ever. Right, Rob, some awesome stuff going on here. So this is the Grebo Games Bretonian thing, and classically sculpted miniatures cast in metal. It's just, there's just something about it. It's got more, there's more gravitas, there's more purpose. Anyway, beautiful face, excellent execution, team looks great. I love the ogre, and the shields work really well. This was a great team. I love that you can still use this as nobility and essentially human team as well, which is really important. But I mean, the Bretonian team is great, and this has been a wonderfully done version of it, Rob. Absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap up because Tiff has cooked tonight, and I am very much looking forward to it. So thank you very much for sharing all your hobby goodness. Drop us an email, theboneheadpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for sharing. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy painting. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.